be scoring points, so anything can happen. He's going to get the whole shot, though. Undead right behind him with Overshine, who's going to loop out and move all the way back to the 10th spot. B-Green back here as well with Pressure Applier, so some of your front runners early on in the night, all the way at the back of the pack, they're going to have some work to do, but the good news is everyone's still bunched up right here. We lost Captain Cole. He might still be able to get over the double, but oh no. Joe Meister, another, oh no, what was that? Pressure Applier. Feel free to let me know what that was. I did not catch it. Alright, so Big Dog right here, 9th. We got a gaggle of riders here. Somebody's going over the turn. Oh no. Was that Radio doing a front flip right there? Apex jumps off the track. Whoa, who was that? Is that Overshine? That looked like Overshine. Yeah, Overshine's just absolutely getting screwed. Not sure what happened. I just saw him fly across the screen. Man, what is with people going over the turns here? Undead all the way back to last with Joe Meister, who just can't seem to catch a break. I can't tell if this is just normal or if you guys are wrecking each other. If you guys are wrecking each other, I would really appreciate it if you would not. Joe Meister just absolutely getting blown up time and time again. That one definitely wasn't anyone's fault, but unfortunate for him. He's going to have to try to rebound in the next main event. Oh, Undead over jumping the bridge a little bit. Recovers nicely though. Let's see if these guys can keep it clean here. Apex absolutely cutting that apex of the corner there. Keeping it a little bit more clean, liking what I see here. I'm going to try to move up the field here once we can stabilize things in the back here. This is the tightest group here. The top 3 are just starting to open up quite a bit. These 4 guys are making me nervous though. Over jumping the double, so not quite going to get... Oh, Undead gets the triple. Apex jumps off, so he's going to get the reset. Now Joe Meister closing in on the back wheel. Joe Meister getting the triple. Apex trying to guard the inside, but kind of cross jumping there, so got to keep... Oh, Joe Meister, another unfortunate bump there. Alright, we're going to have to move up the field here. So, Renegade off to a solid start here. He's got Mason LU tucked in right behind him, looking for a podium finish. Then in 3rd now, we have Pressure Applier, who's moved all the way through the pack. You know, he is looking to set his sights on Renegade, who looks like he just went down. And now Pressure Applier also goes down. That's going to allow B-Green by, who's also made his way through the field. So, just like that, we got a grid battle. Now B-Green already into the lead. Renegade made another mistake, so Mason LU is still holding down your 2 slot. Not sure how B-Green got around both of them like that, but he did, and that's going to allow Pressure Applier to close right up on his rear wheel. He's going for the triple in, not able to get it though. Good little triple out though. So now we got a tight grouping here towards the front. And look who's come to join us, Radio, after getting tossed around like a ragdoll on the first lap. He's all the way up to 5th, and he is running strong. Got a good gap from 5th all the way back to 6th, which is Overshine, who's trying to recover from just getting absolutely lawn darted across the screen there on the first lap as well. He's kind of in no man's land. And then we got Big Dog here in 7th, holding strong with Joe Meister on a charge up to the front, trying to salvage some points here. Captain Cole holding strong in 9th. Undead, after a good start, all the way back to 10th, battling with 9 Soft and Apex here. Apex hits the tough block and just goes over the bars. He's looks to be getting frustrated and riding a little over his head, so hopefully he can calm down and ride to his full potential here. But 9 Soft made a mistake, and he is going to allow Apex to go by. So checking back in here with B-Green, he's starting to, well, no, he's not really. Mason LU is all over his back wheel pretty much. See, there's a lot of time to be made here on these 3 straightaways, I think. You got to really watch that first double in to make sure you're not overshooting it. Pressure Applier all over the back wheel of Renegade here. So we'll see how Renegade can maintain. Oh, gives him a little bump. Nothing too drastic. Nothing worth sending a warning over. Radio really not losing touch with any of these guys either. Pressure Applier is able to walk around Renegade there down that rhythm section, so that's going to put him back to fourth. Radio rides right over the top of that tough block. Bold choice if you ask me, but he made it work. Everyone getting a run through the whoops here. Starting to spread out pretty evenly here. Single file, but all right within the touch of each other. Oh, and just like that, Radio with a huge mistake. Let's see what Overshine does here. Can he close up on Radio? That should give him... Oh, yeah, look at that. It's such a time loss there. And Radio's still trying to recover from that mistake. He can't even jump the finish line. So that's going to allow Overshine to close right up on him. Now he's hunting down a top 5 finish. That's important because... Oh, careful, careful, careful. Oh, Radio tucks the front, trying to stay off of Overshine, I'm assuming. That's going to allow Overshine into the top 5, which, as I was starting to say earlier, is fairly important because he is trying to hunt down Renegade in the point standings. He does have a shot at it here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But Renegade trying to make it hard on him. He got back around Pressure Applier, who just walked right past him again. So these guys are kind of going back and forth here. We'll have to keep an eye on that. So far, everything looks pretty clean. Pressure Applier starting to open up a little gap here. Everyone's still right inside of each other here, so nothing to, call it a race yet. Still got about 5 minutes left, so we'll have to see how this all shakes out. Looking at the point standings here, Overshine's only about 5 points ahead of Joe Meister, and he's about 16 points behind Renegade. So, he's going to be looking to at least try to finish directly behind Renegade, so he can stay in this fight here. Also, he's going to be wanting to be ahead of Joe Meister so as to not lose the position to Joe Meister. But B Green, he missed a round, and he is all the way up to 4th in the points, and he's only 18 points behind Joe Meister. So if he can keep riding like he is right now, especially depending on how the clash goes later on tonight, he might be able to get in that top 3 overall on the championship even after missing a round. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But with all that being said, it looks like Mason LU has not lost touch of B Green this whole time. Now, we've seen some pretty good rides out of Mason this season, but nothing quite like this where he is just glued to the front of the pack like this. He's been in second the whole race regardless of who is leading, which is kind of different. You don't really see that too often. I don't know if he's just pacing these guys, waiting to make a move, or if it's just how it worked out. But either way, he is running a great race. Let's see if he can get this triple. That is a tough triple. Don't let it fool you. So he didn't quite get through there as clean as he would have liked. That's going to allow B Green to open up just ever so slightly, but Mason still keeping tucked in close behind B Green, and he has opened up a gap on Pressure Applier and Renegade, who have their own little one-on-one battle going on now. So you kind of have these two little battles going on at the front here. You got B Green versus Mason, and then Pressure versus Renegade. Then right here in 5th, you have Overshine just running his race pretty much all by himself. Radio trying to stick with him, but he just went down while going under the bridge again. So that's going to make things even harder on him. He's starting to allow Joe Meister to close up on him. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if he can get around Radio. That would be a pretty good salvage out of Joe Meister after he had an absolutely miserable first couple laps. Shout out to him for just sticking with it and trying to recover. Big Dog sticking right here in 8th, running a good pace, looking good. So shout out to him. Captain Cole still right here in 9th, running that same pace as these guys, not too far back. Undead sticking right with Captain Cole. And then a little further back, not too far though, we got 9 Soft, and then Apex who I think is just not quite gelling with this track the way that he did with the original track. He ran a pretty fast qualifying time on the original track, so sorry to see that he is struggling with this track, but love to have him with us here tonight, and you know, it's a triple crown, so we'll see what he could do in the next couple mains. But running it back to the front here, B Green's finally starting to stabilize a gap. Looks like Mason is now being caught by Pressure Applier, who is doing his best to apply that pressure. But to be honest with you, Mason is really not folding much. I don't think his pace has really dropped off. I think maybe B Green has just opened it up a little bit. Didn't see any resets out of Mason. Could have missed it, but don't think he got reset. But if you look at the gap between Pressure Applier and Renegade, looks like that opened up a little bit, so I think Pressure may have just rolled up on his rear wheel here. But whatever the case may be, he's still holding him off. He is not quite within striking distance, he's just outside, but he backsided that jump a lot better. It's going to allow him to gain a bike or so. And any bit closer and he will be within that striking distance, so we'll have to keep an eye on this. This is the closest battle on the track. Does he send it up the inside here? Woohoo. Lets him know he's there. Sacrifices a little bit of a run through the whoops, but it all worked out. He's still tucked in right behind him on his rear wheel. We'll see what happens here. Mason stays lower over the double, blocks the inside. That's going to allow him to hold it for another lap. We only have 2 laps remaining. Pressure Applier cases the finish line double, and that's going to give Mason about the same gap that he had last lap. So this might be enough for him to hold it. We'll see. There's still time left, and Pressure Applier is far from far. Oh, but just like that, he jumps off the track, gets a good reset though. So he's still within striking distance. He's just not quite close enough to make a move yet. And it looks like B Green may have made a small mistake because he seems a little bit closer than he was last lap. Just going off of the eye test here. Definitely got a gap. Only a lap and a half to go, so he is far from in danger, but we just got to keep an eye on that, make sure that he doesn't make any more mistakes, or he could throw away this win. Renegade looks to be just settling in on his own pace. He knows that Overshine and, oh, looks like Radio now has closed back in on Overshine, so good for him. Nice little rebound there. I don't know if he felt the pressure of Joe Meister coming and decided to just try to turn it back up or what happened. Oh, and just like that, he watched the front. I'm sorry. That was probably my fault. Shouldn't have said anything. And now that's going to allow Joe Meister by. So your 3 championship contenders running right here in 4th, 5th, and 6th overall. And then your 4th place in the championship out in front, trying to bring home the moto win. So we'll see what can happen here with Radio. Can he get back around Joe Meister? He seems to have the speed to possibly do it, so we'll check back in before the race is over. But moving back up here, oh no, Pressure Applier jumping off the track. So that could seal his fate. He might be locked into a 3rd overall here. B Green is riding really solid, but he is definitely not pulling away from Mason by any stretch of the imagination. Mason LU is now pretty much on the same straightaway as B Green. So he better make sure he doesn't mess this up or it could cost him the win. But like the veteran he is, looks like he's going to hold it down. And he is going to take home your main event #1 win. Mason LU going to bring home a really solid 2nd. Pressure Applier moving up through the field to bring home your 3rd. Your points leader, Renegade, right here with a solid 4th, trying to do what he needs to do. His competitors here in Overshine and Joe Meister holding it strong right behind him, trying to keep it close. They're going to finish as well. Joe Meister runs it in deep to make sure he's safe from Radio. Captain Cole with a chance here to try to finish the race. Looks like he's going to get there. Followed by Big Dog, Undead, 9soft, and Apex. Big Dog sneaking it in right at the end. So shout out to those guys. Good racing, everybody. Love to see it. Give these guys a second to catch their breath.